Continuing our coverage now, 1 year since 25-year-old Ahmaud Arbery was chased and shot to death while jogging in the Satilla Shores neighborhood near Brunswick.
His mother has now filed a lawsuit against the Glynn County Police Department, her son's accused killers, and the first two prosecutors who were on the case.
And he just wasn't an African-American guy that went jogging. Ahmaud was loved. And again, Ahmaud, he loved, and he was also loved by many.
In a sit-down interview, Ahmaud Arbery's mother, Wanda Jones, tells reporter Kelly Wiley she is still in disbelief.
A year after getting the phone call, her son, Ahmaud Arbery, was shot and killed. And Wanda Jones is still working to keep the promise she made to her son and herself.
The day that I laid Ahmaud to rest, my last words to him was, I will find out what happened.
1 year after his death, Jones is much closer to answers as new information continues to emerge in her son's case, including new video showing how Glynn County Police Department officers reacted after the fatal shooting.
I can only imagine. I hope I never have to understand what you feel right now.
Arbery's family says he was running in the Satilla Shores neighborhood when father and son Travis and Gregory McMichael began chasing him through the neighborhood, eventually shooting Arbery 3 times. Greg McMichael told police he thought Arbery was a burglary suspect. In the 10 weeks after the shooting, the accused killers faced no arrest. The state prosecutor assigned to the case, George Barnhill, had written his death off as a justifiable homicide before recusing himself at Arbery's mother's request. It wasn't until video of the shooting was released by a local radio station that the case gained national attention. Within a day of the Georgia Bureau of Investigations taking over the case, investigators arrested the McMichaels for murder.
What was so surprising is that Glynn County Police Department, they saw the video minutes, hours after it happened. They saw it and they didn't see anything wrong.
Do you feel like your son was failed by institutions involved?
Yes, more than failed. Not more so by our local government failed Ahmaud. Like I said, the officers that were on the scene, they saw the video. The Monday, the Tuesday of the next week, the sheriff knew that there was a video. If I didn't take a stand, this case would have been closed and gone.
Jones is now filing a lawsuit on her son's behalf, targeting the 3 men accused in his murder, the Glynn County Police Department, and the 2 prosecutors who were first attached to the case. In it, Jones claims the Glynn County Police Department authorized former district attorney investigator Gregory McMichael, his son, and another Satilla Shores neighbor to act as law enforcement in a text message sent weeks before Arbery's death.
What was very uncomforting was at first when they were saying Ahmaud was a criminal. Ahmaud was a young man that, several times in life he chose to make wrong decisions. And that was very, very, very heartbreaking to know that he was dead, and then they were still bringing up the things that he had done as a young adult. But at the same time, I had to refocus myself that on the day of February 23rd, Ahmaud was not doing anything wrong, and Ahmaud was killed.
I have to imagine sometimes you just are overwhelmed with all of it.
I just sit back and sometimes I find myself in a stare from, say, hours, just sit back and just in a deep trance, just trying to make sense of it all. And sometimes I come out of it the same way I entered it, making no sense of it all.
And you have to remember, Ahmaud's mother is in the middle of all this. There still hasn't been a trial in this case. I asked her what was her worst fear at the end of this, and she told me her worst fear has already happened. Like she said, she's still in disbelief over a lot that's happened over this year, but she says having to live her life knowing her son has passed away and died this way is really the worst thing that could have ever happened to her.
Kelly, it's just unimaginable. Any update on the status of the trial?
Not yes and no. At this point, there have been motions filed to really carve out what this trial will look like during a pandemic, when really they're very limited in what they can do during a trial. There has to be a motions hearing on many of those things that they're discussing right now, and then a trial date will be set. But we have no idea the timeline on that, whether it could be in the next coming months or longer. Reporting live in Jacksonville, Kelly Wiley, Channel 4, the local station.
Kelly, thank you.